Chapter 34. The X. Isla. We headed back up to the Alpha's floor. No, Jackson's floor. No, wait, our floor. It was going to take some time getting used to the fact that the Alpha's floor and my floor were one and the same. I was relieved after meeting his parents, finding out they were so loving and accepting. I was worried for nothing, and every moment I spent here, the more comfortable I became. I was still anxious that this would be an amazing dream, and I would wake up back in my cramped attic room on a floor mattress. "Hungry?" he asks me. I nod. "What are you in the mood for?" "Honestly, anything." He thinks for a minute. "Is there anything that you want to try that you've never had?" I was trying to think of something that always looked good. "Oh, a Caesar salad?" I ask. "You want a salad?" he asks skeptically. It always looked so good, and one time I made the dressing for it and snuck a taste, and I remember it being amazing. I shrugged. Well then, your wish is my command. Would you like chicken or shrimp on it?" Chicken, please." His eyes cloud over, mind-linking someone. "All right, that's done. It should be up here soon. Do you want to watch a movie?" I nod. We sat on the couch and watched Shrek 2, which might have been even better than the first, and ate our dinner in comfortable silence. Jackson kept insisting that I kept drinking water, and I felt like I was about to burst by the end of the movie and my third glass of water. "Ready for bed?" he asks. I'm glad it was dark so he couldn't see me blush. Even though we've kissed now and spent all day together, I was nervous to share a bed with him, but I knew that was silly. "Yeah," I managed to say, trying to sound confident. I head to the bathroom and am yet again surprised by the sheer size of it. There was one stone wall that was probably part of the outer wall, but the rest of it was completely bright and modern, a mix of old and traditional and new. I appreciated his mother's style and wouldn't want to change a thing. There was a large rain shower that hung on the far side under a tilted skylight next to a standalone bathtub. Taking up one side of the room were double sinks on top of a long light wood countertop with raised white sinks and brass appliances. "Modern farmhouse chic, my mom calls it," Jackson says from leaning against the doorway. I didn't even hear him come in. "We can change it if you want." No, it's absolutely perfect. I love everything about it," I say. "Which side is mine?" "I think my mom put your things to the right. The mirror opens and there's a few drawers for you too." I hesitantly open the mirror, not sure what to expect. I gasp when I see what's inside. So many tiny bottles filled with creams, oils, and lotion. I didn't know there could be this many things for your body. I take one of the bottles out and turn it over. Under eye cream with 14-karat gold flakes. Overwhelmed, I shut the mirror. That's when I saw a little fridge-looking thing next to my sink. Jackson, what is this?" He comes over next to me and looks at it confused. "I honestly have never noticed it." I open it up and it is a fridge with some squishy iPad, a few rolling-looking sticks, and some was that crystal or some kind of flat stone. I couldn't even guess what they would be used for. "I think I'm gonna need your mom's help," I say, completely out of my comfort zone here. "I'm sure she would love nothing more than to educate you on the wide world of skincare," he answers. I look around a bit more and finally find a toothbrush, toothpaste, and something that I'm pretty sure is face wash. I head to the labyrinth that is my closet, and after a bit of searching, finally find something to wear to bed. I settled on a dark green silk shorts and tank top set, and I've never felt anything better against my skin. I was nervous heading out to stay with Jackson for the first night. "You got this. He was made for us." "You're right, just nervous." I take a deep breath and head out of the closet. Jackson is standing at the end of the bed and grins widely when he sees me. I stop in my tracks. He's wearing black sweatpants and no shirt. Holy wow! That is an understatement. I told you our mate was yummy. Does he have an 8-pack? My eyes roam appreciatively over his wide chest and perfect V-line that points to what is hiding beneath. I gulp, and I know I must be blushing at this point. I didn't know which side you wanted, but I thought I would let you choose. I'll take whatever side you don't sleep on usually. I usually take the middle. Okay, how about the right side? I say nervously. It really didn't matter to me. He gets in the bed under the covers and pats the spot next to him. I somehow remember how to walk and crawl up on the massive bed and have to pull myself to get in. He chuckles. I didn't think about how much taller the bed would be for you. I'll have to get you a step stool. He pulls me into his chest and I take a deep breath, calm washing over me immediately. I couldn't remember what I was nervous about. I lay on his chest, enveloped by his scent, with his arms holding me. I could fall asleep right now, but I needed answers. So, You still haven't explained to me what you were doing when I spent a few days as a rogue. Ah, yes. He starts playing with my hair. Let's start from the beginning then. I am wide awake by the end of his story. I didn't know that he was searching for me for days, or that Haley thought he was her mate. I let a small growl escape when he told me about how she showed up in his room and he pulled me closer. Which brings us back to here and my ex, Jennifer. Of course there was an ex. I would be stupid to believe that this gorgeous alpha that has been unmated for years never dated. I just didn't want to think about it. He proceeded to tell me about their relationship and the contract that her parents wanted them to enter in. Then it dawned on me that she was the one that came into my room and introduced herself as the Luna. So, the gorgeous blonde with perfect curls? He nodded once. Oh. I ended things a year ago, but I won't lie. I have slept with her recently. I felt my stomach drop and tears formed in my eyes. I know it was stupid. I never believed him to be a virgin or save himself for me. But I didn't want to think about him being so close to another girl, especially one as confident and beautiful as Jennifer. I buried my head in his chest and tried to take a long breath, but it ended up coming out shaky. Isla, baby, are you okay? He whispers in my ear. I can't answer for a minute. I wish for the first time since I met him that I could be alone. I don't want to get in the way of anything, I whisper, but I'm not sure if he hears me. Isla, look at me. I hesitate, but meet his gaze. You are never going to and have never gotten in the way of anything. I would have never taken a chosen mate. I made it clear to her that whatever we had was over when I found my mate. I've been waiting for you to become my Luna. No one else. But your parents... My parents were against it from the start. The idea started to appeal to them because they were worried that I never would find you. But they are ecstatic that I have you and love you already. I nod. I do believe him, but it doesn't make the pain in my chest go away. Okay, I mumble. He takes my chin in his hand. No, Isla, you don't understand. I've been waiting for my mate because I wanted what my parents have. They taught me to cherish my mate above all else. What I got was more than my wildest dreams. Besides being drop-dead gorgeous, you are the most selfless person I've ever met. You are much braver than I am. I give him a look. Isla, I don't think I could have ever left my pack alone as you did. The fact that you lost your parents and were treated so horribly your entire life that you remember, but still came out of that situation kind, and even more, have sympathy for those that treated you like that, isn't weak. You are resilient. I couldn't do it. Most people would be eaten up by anger, but you are good and pure, and... This time, tears well up in my eyes, but I feel nothing but happiness. I pull him forward and crashed his lips to mine hungrily. He seems surprised for a second, but then kisses me back. His hands run up and down the side of my shirt, and I let out a sigh. He slips his hand under my shirt and begins running it along my hips. higher up to the side of my breast. He pauses, and I pull back, confused. I told you we would take everything at your pace. There is no rush. Tell me if anything is going too far. I nod at him and continue to kiss his soft lips, wanting more. Goosebumps erupt in a trail from where he is touching me as he continues exploring my body. One of his fingers brush against my nipple, and I let out a moan. My body feels electric, and I start to feel warm and a bit of moisture in between my legs. I love that sound, he growls into my ear before continuing to explore me, kneading my breast in his hand and slowly running his hand over my nipple. He positions me so that he's laying on top of me, and I feel his hardness through his sweatpants, and I gasp. He lowers himself over me and starts to kiss down my jawline while he slowly moves his hips over mine. I can't help the sigh that leaves my mouth. I have never felt anything like this, and I don't want it to stop. My shirt is lifted up, and his mouth is kissing my chest. And then he finds my hard nipple and flicks his tongue over it, while his hand reached toward the other. Waves of electricity shoot through me. He never stops moving his hips and rubbing against me. I feel like I can't breathe from the pleasure building up below. Jackson, I moan. He growls as I pant his name. He moves his mouth to the other breast and circles his tongue around my nipple. Slowly, he runs his free hand down my stomach and slips a finger under the top of my shorts. All of a sudden, it feels like too much. Overwhelming, but so good. My brain is saying it's too fast, but my body craves more. He softly bites my nipple and brings me back to reality for a short, fleeting moment. Wait, I say, breathless. He looks up into my eyes with so much adoration, I feel guilty for stopping him. I just had my first kiss today, and I want this. I want you, but I'm worried it's too fast. I look away, not wanting to meet his gaze. I knew he would be angry. I'm sorry. He puts a finger across my lip and smiles wide. Don't ever apologize. Not for that. I told you we would go at your pace. He pulls down my shirt and then lays on his back and pulls me into his arms. Besides, that was more than I would have even asked you for. You are absolutely perfect, Isla. He kisses my forehead, and I fall into the deepest sleep of my life. Chapter 35. Dinner Invite. Isla. I wake up refreshed and slightly dazed. I quickly sit up when I realized that there was daylight streaming through the curtains. Shit, I'm late. Wait, our room didn't have a curtain. I look around and remember where I am, realization washing over me, pulling me into the present moment. I'm in my own little slice of heaven, sleeping in a bed that must have been made out of actual clouds. I look beside me to my sleeping mate and watch his even breath and his peaceful features. I debate snuggling back up to him, but I should really get started for the day. I reluctantly pull myself out of bed when I'm suddenly pulled backward. I let out a surprised yelp. Where do you think you're going? Jackson whispers in my ear, his morning voice gravelly, sending a shiver down my spine. Getting ready? It's already light out. Plus, if I add in navigating that closet and your mother's skincare bottle things, that already set me back about 3 hours. He laughs, but only pulls me closer. I snuggle into his chest. Fine, 5 minutes, I sigh, and I relax into him. After Jackson helps me navigate the rain shower and I find some jeans that fit me perfectly, we head down to breakfast. I was feeling a bit nervous again as the elevator descended down each floor. Everyone I've met here has been so welcoming, but this would be my first time going down to the dining room to eat. Jackson assured me that we would be joined by Lucas and Cam, and that was it. And I've already met Lucas before, so I would just be meeting one person. As if he could sense my nerves, he gave my hand a squeeze when we walked into the dining room. Massive windows placed every few feet opened up the rough stone wall, giving a gorgeous view of the morning in the mountains. I was temporarily distracted until Jackson pulled me closer to the table to sit down. That's when I noticed Lucas and who I was assuming was Cameron standing next to him. This was a gorgeous group of men. Jackson was the tallest of the three by a few inches, but Cameron and Lucas were both well above 6 feet. Lucas's brown curls and dimpled smile immediately pulled you in. Jackson told me he was more of the party animal and ladies' man, and I could definitely see the appeal. Cameron stood next to him with shorter blonde hair and dark blue eyes, looking very clean. I'm not sure if clean was the right word, but he was looking very put together, professional, tidy. Tidy is worse than clean. You're right. They were both smiling at me, and Lucas spoke first. "It's great to see you again, Luna, especially up and around this time." He flashed me a smile. "Ma'am, my name is Cameron." He walked around the table to take my hand in his. "It's nice to officially meet you, Luna." He was definitely more formal than Lucas, but Jackson said he took his job very seriously as head trainer. I could see the soldier in him. Soldier, that's a good one. Please, both of you call me Isla. I'm not used to all the formality. "Isla it is," said Lucas, sitting down. We take our seats around the table. Jackson pulls out my chair for me and sits next to me, taking my hand in his lap. Plates of scrambled eggs, bacon, sausages, pancakes, hash browns, and fruit are set in front of us family style. There was so much food it seemed wasteful. I was, of course, wrong by the end of breakfast. Those 3 boys ate everything. I really enjoyed being around them and started to relax as soon as I sat down. They were talking to each other and joking around, and they really seemed like brothers by the way they were interacting, but made sure to include me in the conversation and started telling me stories of the trouble Jackson and them got into as a kid. I was laughing by the time they finished them, but Jackson glared at them, but that just made them laugh harder. I never saw Alpha Benjamin interact with his beta in any way that wasn't very formal, and condescending even. And we didn't really see him around the pack house except for some events. I always figured that the Alpha ran everything with his beta staying in the background, but I could see the way Jackson ran his pack was a lot different. "Jax," Cameron asks when our plates are clear. "Sorry to bring up pack stuff now, but I wanted to inform you about the rogue." What rogue? Were there more rogues? I must have looked visibly concerned because Cameron turned to me. "One of the rogues that we found the same time we found you are in our pack holding cells." I gulped. One of them was in the same pack house that I have been staying in. I shuddered and Jackson pulls me close. "Dungeon," Lucas corrects, and Cameron scowls at him. "The rest have been dealt with, and the one we kept alive is under full security, I assure you." He makes sure to make eye contact with me. "He's been talking a bit, and I wanted to see if you had a few minutes to get you caught up." Jackson looks at me. "Go on, that's completely fine. I wanted to do some exploring anyway." "You're more than welcome to sit if you would like," he asks. I couldn't read in his eyes to see if this was something he wanted or not. I would be Luna, so should I start now, or would I only slow them down if they had to explain everything? "I can fill you in on everything later. There's no pressure. It would only take a few minutes. If you want to get some coffee, and when we're done, I'll show you to your library." My eyes light up. There was an actual library here? I'm glad he made the decision for me. I would have to ease into Luna duties eventually, but I didn't feel fully ready to start just yet. "Sounds great. It was nice meeting you guys. I'll be in the kitchen when you're done." He kisses me on my cheek, and Lucas and Cameron give me a smile as they pass by. Jackson. Heading back to my office, I couldn't wipe the smile off my face as Lucas and Cam were talking about how lovely Isla was. I was so proud to be mated to her, and I'm happy that all my friends and family immediately are taken with her. "All right then, let's go through this so I can get back to my Luna," I say, sitting down. "The rogue, the one we think might have been the leader, woke up finally a few days ago, about the same time as Isla. He seemed out of it and confused, but we're not sure if it's an act. He hasn't given us much information, But what he's told us is he had a small band of rogues, and they have been together for just a few months. From what he told me, it seems that the rogues haven't all been working together. That makes sense. I can hardly believe they would be civilized enough to actually form an alliance or pack of any sort, Lucas adds. That still doesn't explain why there have been so many more rogue sightings and attacks near our borders recently, I say. I know it doesn't, Cam responds. But from all the information we have, they don't seem related. But why now? I'll try to figure it out. I'll see if he knows any more from what he's told us. He just seems like a regular rogue. I'm not sure why they are moving closer to our territory. We can try to eradicate them or drive them out, but we would need help from the other packs, Cam states. I sigh. I was supposed to talk to Alpha Benjamin about this when you found Isla. I guess I'll have to make a trip back. Maybe we can kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Dad? Yes, son. Can you come up to my office, please? See you in 10. My dad's coming up. I talked to him about the treatment of their omegas, like you suggested. I want to see if he was able to find out anything or have some advice on the next steps. I really didn't want to have to go back to Silver Moon, but there were things that needed to be dealt with. Hello, son. Cam, Lucas. My dad comes in and takes a seat and immediately gets to it. Remember the previous Alpha of Blue Lake? I shake my head. He used to come up here a few times a year, even though he lives a few states over, because he and his wife are close to your mom and me. Oh, Uncle John, I remember. Yes, that's him. Well, he is an elder now, which explains why we haven't seen him as much recently. He's been so busy. That's amazing for him. He seemed like a great leader, I say. My dad nods. He was. He pauses, reminiscing. Well, I spoke to him, and he said that if the situation is as serious as we believe, then there will have to be an intervention. He wants to send someone to assess the situation first. But we're not sure how best to go about that without tipping off Alpha Benjamin. I was interrupted before I got a chance to talk to him about the rogues. I have to go back to meet with him again. So why don't I bring along the elders person? I can bring Lucas and Cameron so it seems less suspicious if we bring a group, instead of just me and someone they've never met before. My dad thinks about this. That might work, actually, if Alpha Benjamin doesn't find it strange you're bringing them to a meeting. Honestly, we were just there, and Alpha Benjamin seemed to be very interested in Jackson. He was more than accommodating, and I'm sure would welcome us back, Lucas says. How much time does the elder's man need there? I ask my dad. I don't think too much time. Alpha John, or Elder John now, said he would need a few hours to gather intel and any proof to make a case against him. It's not hard to tell when the Omegas are being mistreated when you actually talk to them. As you said, Isla would bring up things to you she thought were normal but would never be permitted here. I nod. It's harder to tell if you're going for a meeting or a dinner because the interaction you have with the Omegas is standard, but their person will know what they're looking for. That makes sense. So we could probably do it in a day? I muse. We could try to make it seem like a more formal meeting and ask to meet with the Beta and Gamma too, so I can bring Lucas and Cam. Silver Moon doesn't have a Gamma, my dad states. We all 3 look at him. What? Who doesn't have a Gamma? I ask. Did something happen and he wasn't replaced? Lucas looks confused. How did I not know that? Cam mutters. He hates being out of the loop on anything pack-related. Alpha Benjamin never chose a Gamma. It's his pack, and yes, it's unheard of. But I'm not one to muddle another pack's affairs unless it's something like this, where pack members are being so mistreated. That is definitely strange. I wonder who was in charge of their training then. I couldn't imagine doing all this work without Cam. It just doesn't make sense. Okay, it's settled. I'll make the call now. He invited us to the Silver Moon this Friday. He insisted that we stay for dinner. I told him that I would be bringing you 2 along and actually invited you and Mom as well. I say to my dad, it's a bit of a strange request, but it would work out in our favor, so I didn't question it. That actually worked out better than expected, Lucas says, approving. We can bring the Elder's man and say he's an Omega that we brought to help out with something. I've seen a few ranked members bring some of their own help with them, and I don't think Alpha Benjamin would bat an eye. Great idea, son. I'll inform your mom what's going on. Will Isla be joining us? I want her to, but only if she's ready to face her old pack. It will be different now. She's going to be the Luna of their neighboring pack. No one will get near her. We will make sure of that. Cam and Lucas nod in agreement. I'll ask her, but no promises. Benjamin. My phone rings in my office as I'm looking over the expenses from Haley's ball last week that seemed to double since I looked at them the other day. What is it now? Hopefully no more drama from Megan. Alpha Benjamin speaking. I reluctantly pick up. Hello, Alpha? This is Alpha Jackson of the Moonstone Pack. I let out a sigh of relief. Every day I was getting more worried when he didn't call, and Haley and Juliana kept pestering me about him. But I insisted that we let him make the first move. It's great to hear from you so soon, Alpha. I apologize for leaving so abruptly the other day. We had another rogue sighting, this time right next to our borders. That's serious, I say. They're just rogues. I don't know why he keeps bringing this up. Would you like to come back and finish our meeting? Friday, perhaps. That sounds good. I would like to bring my Beta and Gamma with me as well. They would like to sit in on the meeting if that is okay with you. I'm delighted, actually. We could make this a formal send-off for Haley and discuss plans for the future. Officially joining our packs and legitimizing our line. Of course, anyone you want to bring is welcome, I say. How about bringing your parents as well? I haven't seen them in ages. We can have dinner here after the meeting. I'll extend the invite. I'm sure they will be happy to join. That settles it. I'll see you Friday. I hang up quickly so he can't change his mind. Well then, that matter is settled. A weight off my shoulders. Haley, Juliana, come to my office immediately.
But Daddy, I'm about to go shopping with my friends.
Listen to your father. Come now. I cut the link. I rub my temples. Talking to them wears me out. At least Haley won't be my headache anymore. In a few moments, Juliana and Haley sit across from me. She looks bored playing with her hair. I have some news, I say, sitting up. I'll need your help this week, I say, looking at Juliana. Go on, dear, what is it? Juliana asks, confused, but excited, sitting forward in her chair. I rarely ask her for help with anything. To be fair, she is pretty useless these days. I need you to help get Haley prepared. Haley sits up, finally giving me her full attention. Alpha Jackson is coming to dinner Friday. He's bringing his parents. Juliana grabs Haley's hands and Haley squeals.
He's coming for me?
She asks. He couldn't even be away from you for a week, Juliana says to her. It seems that way. I guess he's ready for his Luna, I say. You have a few days to get packed.
I'll have to get a new dress for Friday.
Haley bounces in her seat. I'll go with you, Juliana adds.
Mom, please. I'm going with my friends today.
Haley waves her off and hurt flashes across Juliana's face.
Ugh, fine, Mom. Stop pouting. We can go tomorrow, too, to get you something.
This appeases her, and she goes back to being excited. I will not say this again. Your best behavior. Both of you. They nod. A few days from now, my daughter would be claimed by our closest ally, and my future problems would be solved. They leave my office. Juliana already asking for grandchildren. I need to get Seth on the same page. He's the one that was harder to control. Seth? What dad?
Haley. I took my dad's credit card. He wouldn't mind. I was about to be the Luna of Moonstone, and I heard the Alpha was loaded, so I was going to be loaded. We're sitting in the back of one of Daddy's cars on the way to the mall. You're leaving so soon? Jessica complains. I can't believe you're going to be mated to an Alpha. He is so hot.
Nicole says with a hint of jealousy in her voice. Good. I'm glad that my friends are jealous. They should be. They still haven't found their mates, and there was no way an Alpha would ever choose them as a mate. They weren't of my blood.
He is gorgeous. I can't wait to get him in bed, I say.
They giggle.
You're so bad, Haley. Please let us come visit. His Beta was gorgeous too. You can come for my Luna ceremony. I'm going to try to have it within the month, but I'm sure we won't wait to complete the mating process. I was going to mark him Friday night after he took me to his pack. You two can have whoever you want. I have the best catch there. Take the leftovers. I waved them off, but they squealed and grabbed my arms. I can't help the smile that takes over my face. I cannot wait to be Luna of Moonstone. That is what I was born for. The clothes, the parties, the position. I was a few days away from it. Chapter 36. Secret Library. Isla. I head to the double doors to the kitchen. It's nice seeing the kitchen off the dining room. Definitely easier for the Omegas to serve food. The kitchen, like everything else here, is large and bright with tall ceilings and skylights on one half of the slanted roof. An older Omega is bustling about and reading off a grocery list out loud. She must be the lead Omega. She's too enthralled with her list that she almost bumps into me before she notices me standing there.
"Oh my goodness, Luna!" She nods her head a bit. "Forgive me, I didn't see you there." No. I put my hands up in protest. I didn't announce myself. This really is a beautiful kitchen you have. Dawn, is it? Yes, Luna, is there something I can get you? She smiles at me. Isla, please. If you could just point me in the direction of coffee, that would be great. Please sit down and let me bring it to you. What would you like, a cappuccino? Latte? She searches my confused face. Just coffee? Americano, got it. She motions to an open bar seat along the island. She brings me my coffee, or Americano as she called it, and I took a long sip. This was way better coffee than I've ever had. I realized I never really liked the taste of coffee until right now. I would just drink it for the energy, but this was actually nice. I stare down into my cup, trying to figure out what's different about it. Would you like some cream or sugar, darling? Dawn comes up, studying my face. I shake my head. This is the best cup of coffee I've ever had. Thank you. She smiles wide. Let me know if there's anything else I can get you. She turns back to her work. I sit and finish my cup of coffee in silence, and then I'm not sure what to do. I got an uneasy feeling watching the few Omegas in the kitchen work while I was just sitting there. Dawn, I bring my mug to the sink near where she's working. Do you think I could help out here? She looks surprised. Darling, don't worry about it. Please let me do something. I felt like I haven't done anything these past few days. Well, she looks around. Are you any good at baking? I know what I'm doing, but I have to be honest. What I bake tastes great, but isn't the prettiest. She laughs and gets me an apron. Taste is all that matters. You can work here if you'd like. She leads me to an open workstation. I put my hair up and get to work, following her recipe, relaxing into something that feels familiar after days of feeling out of my comfort zone. Dawn looks over my shoulder. I have to say, I'm surprised, Luna. That looks amazing. She pats my shoulder and moves on. I'm so deep in my work, I don't notice Jackson come in. I'm not sure how long he's been standing there watching me, but as I go to wash my hands, I see him leaning against the doorway, smiling at me. Oh, I jumped a little. Why didn't you say anything? He starts walking towards me. I like watching you. You were so engrossed in your work. He pulls me into a hug. Are you ready? Let me just finish cleaning up and I'm ready. I wipe my hands on my apron and finish cleaning up. Thank you so much for your help, Luna. Dawn comes up to me. You've got a good one, Alpha. Jackson puts his arm around me and gives me a squeeze. I know it. Jackson leads me to the other side of the pack house. There's another elevator over there, and we go up to the 6th floor. And then up a winding flight of stairs that end up in a circular room that has no windows covering one side, and the other side with curved bookshelves. The ceiling slants up into a pointed cone roof. It looked like we were in some kind of tower. Wow, I breathe, taking a spin around. We have a larger library off the first floor for all PAC members to use, but my grandmother built this. She transformed an attic into a tower. She wanted to feel like she was in a castle. He smiles. This definitely does the trick. Do you like it? He asks curiously. This is my new favorite room. I smile widely. Abigail would love it. She will love it when she gets here. He corrects. There is actually something that I want to talk to you about. I have to go back to Silver Moon for a meeting about the rogues this Friday. Oh, I'm going with Lucas and Cam, and my parents will be coming too. That sounds like a lot of people for a meeting. I was hoping you would join us. My eyes go wide. I thought he was saying he would be leaving for a day, not inviting me. I honestly didn't know how I felt about it. Take your time. There's no pressure. But I would love to have you by my side and to officially introduce you as my Luna. Last time I didn't get the honor. He grabs my hand and looks at me intently. And I was thinking if Abigail wanted to move here, we could have her come back with us Friday night. I would get to see Abigail in a few days. I couldn't contain my excitement. I honestly have to think about it. I'm not sure how they would feel. I didn't necessarily leave on a good note. I trail off. As I said, it's up to you. Either way, I think we should ask Abigail before Friday night so she has time to prepare and tell the lead Omega. Megan, was it? I scowl and he laughs a bit. Yeah, I wasn't her biggest fan either. That makes me feel better. So, do you want to call her and ask? Now? I ask expectantly. I couldn't wait to talk to her again. Sure, let me try and get her on the phone. He pulls out a cell phone and makes the call as I walk up to one of the windows, enthralled with the sprawling landscape below my kingdom. Isla? Megan went to find her. She should be on the phone in a few minutes. He hands the phone to me and I take it nervously, not sure why my hand was shaking. Hello? A familiar voice floods through the phone. Abigail, I state in relief. Oh, Isla, she gushes. I am so happy to hear you are safe. Alpha Jackson called, but I've still been worried sick until now. He told me that you were in the hospital. Oh, Isla, it is so nice to hear your voice. Same here, I say, clutching the phone. I have so much to tell you. This place, it's incredible. I think you would love it. Well, I'll have to see if I can sneak away sometime and come visit you, she says without any confidence in her voice. Actually, I was wondering if you would move here. She doesn't say anything for a minute. I know that Silver Moon is your PAC and all that you've known. I feel selfish for even asking, but I know you would love it here and be so happy. Jackson said you're more than welcome and would make sure you were comfortable here. I continue on, worried she would say no. Isla, she interrupts me. Are you sure? Why wouldn't I be? Your family. I whisper. There is another pause on the other side of the phone. Of course, I would love to come, she finally answers, and relief washes over me. We're going to come get you Friday. Jackson looks at me and mouths, we? I nod at him quickly. That sounds perfect. I can't wait to see you. I heard a door open over the phone. Megan was probably walking back into her office. I have to get back to my duties. She hangs up the phone. Jackson walks over to me and circles his arms around me, pulling me towards him. I'm assuming she said yes? I nod in his chest. And you're coming? I nod again. I pull back and look up into his face. I realized it might be the last time I ever see the PAC grounds. Even though I might not have had the best experience there, I did love the PAC land, and I want to say goodbye to my friends. I left in a rush last time, and I don't like how I left everything. I want some kind of closure, if that makes sense. That makes complete sense, baby. He pulls me in for a kiss. Let's go put Silver Moon behind you. Chapter 37. Bath time. Jackson. Jackson, can you come to the rec room real quick? Yeah, sure. Give me a few. Everything okay? Yeah, the theater is finished. Isla, I have to check on something. Are you okay to stay up here alone? She looks up from her book, from her place on the sofa next to me, her green eyes sparkling. I could stay here forever. I'll bring back some coffee. She nods and goes back to her book. I watch her for a second, her nose scrunching up at a part. I love how into her book she was, and I've been sneaking glances at her all afternoon, getting too distracted to read my book. I give her a soft kiss before heading down to the rec room. Without further ado, Lucas echoes into his hand. I roll my eyes at the fanfare. Everything has to be a production with him. I present to you the long-awaited grand opening of the new theater room. He smiles widely and hands me a pair of scissors. Just then, I noticed a bright red ribbon across the door. If you would do the honors, Alpha. I sigh, but take the scissors from him and quickly cut the ribbon. Oh, come on, man, you're no fun. I'll have to redo this for Luna. He chastises me. I open the room to the room, and I am blown away by Lucas's attention to detail. This room really has transformed and looks like a classic theater. The walls are covered in red velvet, and there are 3 rows of couches on different levels, so everyone had a view. LED lights on the aisles completed the theater look, and there was even a movie theater popcorn machine in the corner. Do you think she'll like it? Lucas asks, coming in behind me. Every movie you could ever want is already on there. He motions to the screen that covers the entire wall across from the couches. This is better than I imagined. She will love it. Thank you so much, I respond. I was expecting a large TV and some comfy chairs. I wasn't expecting a full-blown theater. So, should we break this bad boy in? I heard they had a second Frozen coming out. I laughed. I forgot how much he liked the first one. Let's start with the first one. Isla hasn't seen anything besides the first 2 Shreks. I'll set it up. He heads out and starts to change some letters on a screen outside the room I didn't see before. I come up behind him and it shows, now showing, Frozen, 8 o'clock. Nice touch. Isla and I ate dinner downstairs with Lucas and Cam again. I could feel her relaxing more every hour and becoming more comfortable in her new home, in our home. When we finished, Cam went to grab some candy from the kitchen for our movie. So, I say, standing up, helping Isla to her feet. How about a new movie? I thought Cam and Lucas wanted to hang out, she asks, confused. We all can watch it. I have something to show you. 1 second, Lucas shouts, rushing past us. I forgot to set up the new ribbon for the ceremony. Don't worry, he has a flair for the dramatics. Everything has to be a show with him. That doesn't wipe the confused look from her face. Come on, let me show you, I say, taking her hand, leading her to the rec room. Cam and Lucas are standing on either side of the ribbon. We heard that you need some major movie education, Cam starts. So, since we're going to be spending hours and hours watching movies, did they rehearse this? I swear, it was like watching a damn play with these 2. I wave my hand, trying to get them to speed it up. Lucas glares at me. You can't rush perfection. Actually, Jackson, thought that you might need a comfortable space to really appreciate these movies in all their glory. So, without further ado, finally, I mutter under my breath, earning me another glare from Lucas. Drum roll, please. I sigh, but Cam starts a drum roll on his legs. Your home theater. Theater, Cam adds a bit too late, and they step aside, showing the double doors behind them. Isla looks at me puzzled, and Lucas hands her a pair of scissors. Do you mind doing the honors, Luna? Do you want me to cut it? She looks between the scissors and the ribbon. Yes, this is the grand opening, the official ceremony, Lucas replies. I tried to get your mate to do it earlier, but he lacks the pizzazz that I need for this occasion. Isla giggles but goes ahead and cuts the ribbon as Lucas and Cam clap and cheer. Okay, guys, I butt in. At this rate, we won't ever start the movie. They open the double doors and Isla's eyes go wide. What is all of this? It's your home theater. I had Lucas start on it after we watched Shrek for the first time. She looks between us three, about to say something but turns away. She walks into the room and takes everything in before walking back to us. Guys, I can't even begin. Her voice breaks. Group hug, Lucas shouts and pulls us all into a tight hug. We're all laughing by the time he lets go. Popcorn, anyone? Cam asks. Ooh, yes, please. That smells so good, Isla answers. I take her hand in mine and walk towards the couches. Where do you want to sit? She chooses the first couch, and I put my arm around her as Cam comes with candy and Lucas comes with popcorn. They take seats behind us, and Lucas whispers over to us. You're going to love this, Luna. Romance, revenge, comedy, amazing soundtrack. It has everything. Okay. Just start the movie. I wave him off. I couldn't tell what Isla loved more, the movie or Lucas's off-key singing out every song. She fit in so well, as if she was the missing part of our group. She was tired after we got back to our room. Do you want a bath, or are you ready for bed? I would love to take a bath, actually. Go grab something to sleep in, and I'll get it ready for you, okay? I kiss her forehead and go start a bubble bath with some lavender oil to help her relax. I let the large tub fill up while I light some candles around the tub. I always thought these were stupid and never used them, but my mom insisted I keep them there, and it finally made sense. She comes in behind me and wraps her arm around my neck while I'm checking the temperature. I think it's ready. I stand up and turn to her, still enveloped in her small arms, and place a loving kiss on her lips. Let me know if you need anything. I'll be right outside. I turn the lights down a bit. Jackson? I turn around to face her. Will you stay? My mouth hangs open for a second, but I quickly close it. I don't want her to see my surprise. She turns away from me without saying anything else and drops the white robe she was wearing. Her body was soft but muscular, probably from her years of work. No, I wasn't going to think about that now. I was going to focus on this gorgeous woman in front of me. Her butt was perfect, perky, round, and Flint was yelping in my head in appreciation. Isla. I tried to even my breath, and I slipped my robe off of my shoulder, not daring to look at him. After spending today together in the library and then him showing me the theater he had made for me, I wanted to become closer to him. I knew I wasn't fully ready to mate yet, but I wanted to feel as close to him as I could until that moment. With a last-minute push from Adrastea, I invited him to stay with me. I knew I would never have summoned the courage if it wasn't a spur-of-the-moment decision. I could hear him walking behind me, and I waited until the last possible second to look up at him, afraid I would chicken out. My breath caught in my throat. All of his muscles rippled as he walked towards me, muscles I didn't even know people could even possibly have. I tried to keep my eyes above his waist, but his V-line made it almost impossible not to take a look. I took a step into the tub and settled myself down. See something you like? He teases in a low growl that sent a shiver down my spine. I gulped. He slides in the tub behind me and I instinctively move back towards him. His large, warm hands come up to my shoulders and starts massaging them. My head lolls forward in absolute pleasure. I didn't know what I was so nervous about. He was my mate, made for me, and being with him felt natural. He grabs a soft sponge and adds bubbles from the side of the tub before starting to run it up and down the length of my arms, and then finally over my chest. I lean back into him and he puts his chin on my shoulder, looking over my naked body. I wasn't as self-conscious as I thought I would be. I wanted him to see all of me, and I feel his hardness grow against my lower back. I was surprised to find out that it turned me on, knowing that happened just at the sight of me. He continues to rub the sponge up and down my stomach, around my breasts, the tops of my thighs. I sigh as he got closer to my core. Even though we were in water, I knew I must be dripping wet. He snakes his arm around my lower body, pulling me tighter against him and kissing the side of my jaw until I turn to him. He captures my mouth in a passionate but hungry kiss. I grab his hand and take the sponge from him and push it away. Holding tight onto the back of his large hand, I guide it up around my breasts and then slowly back down until his fingers are hovering over my core. Isla, he sighed into my mouth and broke our kiss. Please, I whispered back. That was all it took for him to continue. He lightly starts rubbing my clit with the tips of his fingers. My body already felt charged, and this was something I never felt before. Even better than yesterday. He starts rubbing light and slow circles, and I moan in anticipation, trying to push myself further against his fingers, craving more contact. Let's take this to the bed, okay? He whispered low in my ear. I nodded, unable to find my voice. He helps me to my feet, wrapping a towel around me and lifting me in his arms like I weigh nothing. He doesn't waste any time laying me on the pillow, my hair fanning around me with the light force. He settles himself in between my legs and looks over my body appreciatively. Mine, he growls, his eyes black. That must be his wolf coming forward. Sorry about that. He's just as excited as I am. I smiled as he pulled himself on top of me, laying his hardness on my core. I gasp at the size. I don't want to do all of it just yet, I softly say. I told you, your pace, he whispers in my ear. But can I explore your body? He pulls back, looking me in the eyes. I nod, my voice caught in my throat. He smiles widely and immediately starts a slow exploration of my body, from nibbling on my earlobe to slowly kissing down my neck. And when he sucks on the spot where I would be wearing his mark, I can feel him smile against my skin. He attends to each breast, taking my nipple in his mouth and swirling his tongue around it like he did the night before, moving to place kisses painstakingly low down my stomach and a trail of them down each thigh. Each time he gets a bit closer to my core, and every time I can feel myself clench, hoping he would go further. But he keeps teasing me, grazing each thigh now with his tongue and then his teeth. He stops. The lack of contact made me sit up confused. He lets out a low chuckle, and I can feel his breath against my core. He stops an inch away from my opening for what feels like a minute. You smell divine, he says. Before I could respond, his tongue licks the length of my entire opening. I gasp in shock and pleasure. He continues with his slow movement, swirling his tongue up and down and around my now swollen clit, pausing to lick my opening, and slowly starts to stick his tongue into my center. There is a slow, burning pressure that starts to build between my legs, like coal that has just started being lit, and he is stoking the fire with every movement. I try to close my legs around his head when it almost becomes too much sensation. He pauses to pin down my thighs, opening them tight against the bed, his large hands on top of them so I can't move an inch. Stay where you are. I gulp, but try my best to do as I'm told. I struggle to keep my legs fully spread for him. Now that's a good girl, he continues and slides one finger up my inner thigh and rubs it along my soaked entrance. Let me know if this hurts, but I'm going to go slow. Is all I can get out, wanting this more than anything. As he gently sucks on my clit, he slowly pushes the tip of a finger into me and pulls it out. He pushes more and more of his finger inside me, slowly pulling out after, opening me up. Finally, I feel his entire finger inside me when his knuckles graze me, my body unwillingly clenching against it. I need you to relax, baby, he whispers into me. Does it hurt? I shake my head no. Please, Jackson, don't stop. That was all he needed to start rhythmically pushing his finger in and out of my weeping core. He flicks his finger every time he is fully inside me in a way that made me moan every time. I couldn't help it. Pressure starts to build again in my body. I feel like I was choking on my moans. Incoherent sounds came out of my mouth as my mind is trying to give voice to what my body is feeling. The intense pressure finally peaks and I feel a huge release. My stomach dropped for a second like I was falling, and that was replaced with the most pleasure I have ever felt, radiating from my core and spreading out to my entire body. My body vibrated and my legs shook under him, riding out these elongated waves of pleasure. I kept calling his name, not sure if it was to tell him to stop or keep going. My inner walls finally stopped tightening and pulsing against his finger, and he moved it out of me in one deft motion. The sudden lack of him made me gasp, my body not wanting him to leave just yet. But he quickly replaces his finger with his tongue and attends to my spilled juices, licking up my wetness slowly, helping me come down from my high. When he's finally satisfied that he got every last drop, he comes back to the top of my bed and pulls me close to his naked body, my head laying on his broad chest. "Now how was that?" he asks, rubbing my back lightly. Was all I could get out before I fell into the deepest sleep of my life. Chapter 38. Back to Silver Moon. Isla. The warmth I have felt all night is gone, and I'm suddenly cold. So cold I'm shivering. Not just outside, but it feels like all the blood in my veins has been frozen. The rain lashes and the wind howls around me. I can't hear anything but my own erratic heartbeat. The heaviness weighs on my chest as if it were a physical thing fighting for its space with the emptiness that is trying to consume me. I smell blood, overpowering in the rain. I want to throw up, knowing who it must belong to. I can't look down. I can't confirm my nightmare, even though I know it's true. I'll join them soon. I hope it won't hurt. I remember my father's howl in the distance, my mother's last sad look. I slip into a welcome unconsciousness. Finally, it's my turn. "Ah, there you are, little one," a voice says that sends chills down my spine. I try to open my heavy eyes, but something hits me on the back of the head and I feel fresh blood, my blood, trickle down my neck. At least it's warm. My eyes blink and I see his eyes close to mine. So close. His eyes, and then they're gone and I am alone. All at once, I'm surrounded by warmth and someone shakes me. "Isla, baby, wake up." Well, this is new. I never remembered any part past being carried away. Maybe I'm finally tapping into something. I fight to open my eyes, not sure if I want to know what happens next. Piercing blue eyes filled with worry look down at me. "Oh. Are you okay? You were curled into a ball, muttering in your sleep and sobbing." I touch my wet cheeks. "I have this dream," I say. He pauses, waiting for me to continue. I take a deep breath. I've never shared this with anyone besides Abigail. It's one that I have had since I can remember. The only dream I can remember having, actually, but it's hard to really recall the details once I wake up. He brushes my hair away from my cheek, worry etched on his beautiful face. They have become more frequent this past year. Each time I seem to know a bit more. Abigail thinks it has something to do with the memories I'm repressing from my childhood. Even my wolf can't access them. He looks surprised to hear this. "Let me talk to my father. I'll see if he's heard anything about that. I never heard of someone being able to hide anything from their wolf." That's when I smell the scent of maple syrup. I look behind him and see a breakfast tray with orange juice, mini pancakes, a massive omelet, and a little jar of flowers. I didn't want to leave you, but you were sleeping so peacefully. I wanted to get you breakfast. You must be hungry. On cue, my stomach rumbled a bit. I laughed. We were up to some extraneous activities last night, and I have to make sure my Luna has her energy levels up. He smirks. I can't help the blush creep up my cheeks. I sit up and he opens the tray's legs and places it over me. Go on, baby. I grab something to eat downstairs. I'm gonna shower. Feel free to join me. He looks behind me with a wink. Every time you dream, you've been able to unlock more. I chump a bit, not expecting my wolf. Oh, hi, Adrestia. Hello, sweets. Ew. I think you should join our alpha in the shower. What that tongue can do? Oh my God, stop. I laugh. Go on about the dream. You were saying, I feel like I am able to start gaining more access to your memories every day. Why do you think that is? Maybe it is because you were suppressing them, as Abigail said. So being away from Silver Moon might have helped. I'm not sure, but they've started to fade in and out now. They're cloudy, but I'm hoping I might be able to see them soon enough. I'll keep trying. You do that, thanks. Now hurry up and eat and get back to our sexy mate. I'm worried about him all alone in the shower. Goodbye, Adrestia. I cut her off, but can't help but laugh. He came out of the shower before I had time to finish eating, making my mind up for me. His towel hung low over his hips, looking like he just walked off of a magazine cover. My mom insisted she come over to help you get ready. I set the juice down and look at him. I was more than capable of getting dressed. As your first visit as a visiting Luna. Oh shit, that was today. I wonder if it was too late to back out. You know, he pauses before going into the closet. It's not too late to back out if you're not feeling up for it. Reading my mind. I think I'm okay. I realized that I wouldn't have this chance again, and I really wanted to put it behind me. I want to put my past behind me so I can fully embrace my future. Here, with you. I smile. Also, I do want to be able to be with Abigail when she first comes here. Oh yeah, I was wondering what we should do about her housing. He comes out in boxers now, which doesn't make him any less distracting. I want to let her decide. It's going to be a huge change for her, and I don't want her to feel like she has to accept something she won't love. That's why I had a room prepared for her. Don't worry, it's been fully stocked with the basics to make her transition here as easy as possible. The best room on the first floor. It's the biggest guest room. He flashes a smile before disappearing back into our closet. There's a soft but firm knock on the door. Come in, Mother. Jackson reappears from the closet, buttoning up his shirt. Jackson. I panic and motion to my naked body under the sheets. It's too late. His mother comes bursting in the door, her dark hair pinned back into the perfect bun, wearing a dark blue matching suit jacket and skirt, looking fresh like she's been out for hours, because she probably has been. Good morning, my love. She stands on the tip of her toes to kiss him on the cheek. Good morning, Isla, sweetie. She gives me a warm smile. Isla is just finishing the breakfast I brought her. How about you head to the closet and start setting out options? Then she can meet you there after she showers? He suggests, saving me more embarrassment of trying to get out of the bed naked. She seems pleased with that idea and heads off. Thank you, I say to him as he pulls the breakfast tray off me and helps me get out of bed. My body feels a bit stiff and sore. Muscles I've never used before are aching. Jackson seems to notice my hesitation. Nothing a hot shower won't help, he says, and then whispers, or I could help massage your thighs and... He trails off. I slap his chest lightly. Jackson, your mother is in the other room. He smiles sheepishly and puts his hands up. Fine, it was just a suggestion. He turns on the shower and lays out a towel and robe for me. I'm meeting with Lucas, Cam, and my dad before we leave, so we're all on the same page. I'll see you in a bit. He leans down to kiss me, and I pull him closer, turning our short kiss into a long one. Not sure when I would get to kiss him again today, panting as I break away from his lips after a few minutes. Don't worry, we will have plenty of time for that later, he whispers in my ear before grazing my marking spot with his teeth, making me shiver before turning and walking away, leaving me a mess of butterflies and desire. I hesitantly walk into my part of the closet, not sure what to expect. Ah, there you are, darling. I've laid out a few options that I think would look incredible on you. Not that I think you can't dress yourself, but it can get overwhelming sometimes. I really appreciate it, I say honestly. I wouldn't even know where to begin with all of this. She beams at me before showing me her options of outfits for dinner tonight. We finally settled on a nude-fitted knee-length cream dress with a thin black belt. She showed me multiple options of black shoes and black fitted jeans, but they all look the same to me, so I let her choose. She described this outfit as sexy yet sophisticated, and I hoped she was right. The more I thought about returning to my old pack, the more butterflies settled in my stomach that wouldn't leave. The nervous kind, not the ones that Jackson frequently gave me. I tried to push them away. Gianna squeezes my hand, pulling me from my thoughts. I know this is a lot for you. Being a young Luna is intimidating by itself, but throwing your history, the events of the past week, and then your first official event being to face the pack that mistreated you, I can't even imagine what you're feeling. She looks into my eyes. Just know this, we are all here for you. You won't be alone for a second. If it gets to be too much, let me know and I'll make an excuse for us to leave early. We're bringing 2 cars anyways, and the guys can squeeze in the other one. I laugh a bit, trying to picture those 4 men and Abigail cramped in a car together. I do start to feel a bit more relaxed, and she pats the back of my hand and helps me stand. Now on to hair and makeup. You are a natural beauty, so maybe just something light, and I'll blow dry your hair so it falls perfectly. She claps excitedly. Jackson told me she always wanted a daughter, and I had the feeling I was going to be turned into a living doll. Not that I minded one bit. It was nice having someone to help me navigate all of this. Jackson. The cars were waiting outside, and I was impatient to see my Luna again. We were waiting by the front with the man the elders sent, Cassius. He arrived this morning and was already briefed with everything we knew. He was very formal and professional, but I wouldn't expect anything less than someone working so closely with our elders. I finally see Isla and my mother descending the main staircase, their arms entwined and them laughing together. My heart swelled. She was stunning. She was always stunning, but I've never seen her dressed up like this. Her hair fell perfectly around her sweet face, and the dress hugged her curves in all the right places. She looked like the perfect Luna, gorgeous, sophisticated, and confident. I couldn't be more proud of my mate, and I silently thanked the moon goddess again for pairing her with me. I can't wait anymore and close the space between us in a few strides, taking her hand from my mother. You look absolutely beautiful. I leaned down to kiss her forehead. Thank you for helping my Luna. I turned to my mother. You look absolutely beautiful as well, Mom. She beams up at me. My dad comes up to us and puts his arm around my mom. Let's head out then. Isla and I get in one car with Cam and Lucas, and my parents get in the other with Cassius. Let's go get Abigail. I squeeze her hand and she smiles up at me. Benjamin. Everything has to be perfect, I remind Megan.
Yes, Alpha. Everything that can be prepared already has been for dinner, and lunch will be held for Juliana, Haley, and Alpha Jackson's parents while you're conducting your meeting.
I nod. And after that? Knowing what I asked, but making sure she was on top of things.
You'll have cocktails out back. We already have the heaters ready to go, and the bar set up.
Good. 2 great families will be joining, and I need them to know, especially the previous Alpha William and his Luna, that Haley comes from one of the best packs.
She does, Alpha. Everyone knows you're the best of the best.
Megan rubs my arm. I don't have time for this today. They are going to be here any minute. I brush her off and she scowls but tries to hide it. Make sure everything is perfect. She nods and I head to my office, a few short events to get through until our families were joined. I just hoped no one in my family fucked it up for me. We were so close.
Haley's point of view. My friends are helping me get ready. I didn't really need the help, but I couldn't help but not rub it in their faces that sexy alpha man is coming to take me as a chosen mate. Since there's lunch with his mom, cocktails, and then dinner, I had to choose 4 outfits, 3 for the events today, and 1 as my going away to a new pack traveling outfit. It was hard to narrow down because I bought a ton. We finally settled on tight white jeans and a pink crop top for lunch with a black jacket. I want it to look nice to meet my in-laws, but also hot for my alpha. Jessica finishes curling my hair and brushes it into waves, and Nicole helps me put on fake lashes. I look damn good, and I smile in the mirror at my reflection. I looked like a Luna, and not one of those stuffy by-the-book ones that dressed like they were fucking Kate Middleton. I was going to be a hot Luna that took what I wanted and didn't care who was in my way. Fuck the people's princess. I was a damn queen. I hear the gravel of the long driveway and run to one of my windows that face the front of the pack to look out. 2 large SUVs were pulling up to the front. As much as I wanted to sneak a peek at my sexy man, I knew I had to be downstairs to greet them. "He's here," I squealed. Jessica and Nicole started bouncing up and down. They have been nicer to me recently, and I know it has to do with me becoming Luna and the doors I could open for them, aka men and lavish vacations on Jackson's dime. I didn't care. I love how people treat me differently because I'm the alpha's daughter, and they will have even more respect for me once this announcement was official. "We're going to set out some lingerie options to go under your going away outfit," Nicole says, grabbing a Victoria's Secret bag from the floor. I'm fine with just going nude under it. I give them a wink and they laugh. "You're so bad, Haley." I head towards the elevator. Not time to take the stairs, and take a deep breath and take one last look in the elevator reflection, confirming I look perfect. I see my parents already standing behind the door. My dad gives me a look. "You're late," he whispers. "They aren't even inside yet." "Haley, what are you wearing?" My mom looks shocked. I look down and see nothing wrong with my outfit. It's tasteful yet sexy. "You are showing your stomach off to your future in-laws?" Her eyes pop out. I brush her off. Fuck her. I would be a better Luna than her anyways. "It's too late now. They're outside." My dad grabs my mom's hand and motions to 2 Omegas to open the front door so we can meet them at the steps. I take another deep breath. This is my moment. It's finally here. I'm standing behind my parents and I look around to them to see Jackson's parents, his beta and gamma, some older guy I didn't know. And then finally my eyes land on my sexy mate, Jackson. I look up at him beaming. My mom let out a confused gasp next to me and my dad freezes next to her. Jackson takes a step forward and I see some gorgeous girl walk next to him. Her thick auburn hair falling perfectly in place around her heart-shaped face. She looked classy and put together. That must be his sister. I didn't know he had one, but it would be nice not to get too lonely at Moonstone. Then I see it. Their hands are entwined. He whispers something into her hair and gives her a soft kiss on her head. Not his sister. I take it all back. On second glance, she was plain, her outfit too modest and stuffy. Where did this random bitch get off trying to steal my mate? She looked strangely familiar, but I couldn't be sure. I was almost shaking. This doesn't make any sense. Why did he come here then? "I would like to formally introduce you all to my mate and Moonstone's future Luna." Jackson smiles down at her, not even bothering to look at me. Chapter 39. Meetings and Lunch. Benjamin. Finally, they're here. This moment was something that I was anxiously awaiting, worried it wouldn't actually happen.
The gravel settles around their SUVs and my nerves settle with it, knowing that this is finally it. The previous Alpha William steps out of the car first with his Luna. I shake his hand briskly. "Welcome back, William." He smiles at me. "Thank you so much for extending the invitation to me and Gianna." Of course. You are always welcome here. We have lunch set up for you with my Luna, Juliana, and of course my daughter, Haley. Actually, I was hoping to sit in on the meeting if you don't mind," he says. "You know, just to keep my brain sharp. I've been out of the game for so long." "Of course, we would love to have your insight." This wasn't a serious meeting, just a ruse to get to Haley, and I didn't understand why he wanted to be there. But I would play the part. It's what I was good at. Alpha Jackson's Beta and Gamma come up and shake my hand, and someone stands next to them that I don't recognize. "This is one of our Omega." The Beta motions to the older man. That was a nice touch, bringing someone to help with Haley's things. "Very well. Have him head down to the Omega quarters. He can wait there until you need him." I summoned an Omega over to come to show them to the kitchen. I look around for Alpha Jackson and finally see him emerge from the car last. He stands up and pulls his jacket down a bit, situating himself. He turns around to close the door behind him, but instead I see a small hand reach out and take his. Out of the car emerges a beautiful girl that seemed familiar, like someone I've seen in a memory. She smiles up at him and he squeezes her hand. I hear Juliana gasp next to me and look over to Haley to see that she hasn't noticed yet. Why would he bring someone else when he came back to claim my daughter? They were clearly together. They come closer and I get a look at her. Large green eyes, natural beauty. She almost looked like, what the fuck? Is this that missing Omega dressed up? If only I would have gotten a chance to take care of her at the party. I should have done it sooner. No one would have noticed a missing Omega. I wonder if I could still find a way to get rid of her. I pushed that thought away for the moment as I tried to compose myself, realizing I haven't said anything in a while. I would like to formally introduce you to my mate and Moonstone's future Luna. Jackson comes to the front. I can't find anything to say. You might recognize her. She's from your pack. Actually, we finally found her. My missing mate, Isla. He beams down at her. I'm sorry, we should have informed you of an extra member coming. It was a bit of a last-minute decision. I hope you don't mind. No, not at all. I find my voice. Let's get to it, gentlemen. I manage to get out as I usher them all inside. Juliana gives me a look as she drags Haley past me. What is happening? She mind links me. I shake my head at her. I have no idea either and need to figure out how to solve this obvious mistake. An Omega couldn't be a Luna of Moonstone. He did know that she was an Omega. Or did he mishear me? She wasn't marked yet, so there was still time. We have everything set up for you in the meeting room. If you would like to join me there at your leisure, I say, fighting to stay calm. Everyone that isn't attending the meeting, we have a light lunch prepared for you in the dining hall. Someone will show you there shortly. I turn to the meeting room, hoping to get a few minutes to collect my thoughts. I mind link my beta, Jerry, to meet us there in a few minutes. I slam the door behind me and take a few deep breaths. What the fuck am I going to do? I could try to get rid of her, but would that be obvious if it were today? I could stage an accident sometime in the near future before she officially became Luna. Maybe Alpha Jackson didn't realize that she wasn't just an Omega, but a rogue. If I tell him that, then he should reject her. He should have rejected her finding out she was an Omega. I bet she lied to him, that's it. She lied about her past somehow and made it seem like I was lying. I would have to set him straight. Hopefully, he would reject her himself. If not, I would have to get rid of her without anyone knowing. I was too close. This would be the last piece to solidify my line, and I wasn't going down this easily. There is a knock on the door. Come in, I say as Alpha Jackson, his Beta, Gamma, and Alpha William come in, shortly followed by my Beta. Let's get this over with, shall we? Jackson. So there are a few options as we see it. Eradicate them or get them to move on. Either option would have us and a few of the other neighboring packs work together. After we can all agree on a course of action so that we don't miss any of them. I want to have this done thoroughly or not at all. Have you talked to the other packs yet? Alpha Benjamin directs his question at me. I shake my head. You are the closest pack, so we thought we would start here. We have been in contact with the others since the increase in rogue sightings, but haven't had a formal meeting yet. Working together, we think we can move them away. There's no need to kill them all. Anyone that fights back or seems to be dangerous, sure, but there are some innocent rogues out there. People choose that lifestyle for different reasons. Cam continues where I left off. Alpha Benjamin scoffs. The only thing worse than Omegas are rogues. I say we just get rid of them all. My father stiffens in his seat beside me. Is that the plan of action you want to go with then? Cam questions him. Alpha Jackson. Alpha Benjamin turns to me. You came here to discuss a solution with me. So why is your Gamma the one that is conducting this meeting? Alpha Benjamin. He is not only my Gamma, but my lead warrior, and the best fighter I have ever seen. I take his word on this subject as law. I am not afraid to admit that he is better versed on this subject than I am. I am committed to finding a solution that works best for our packs with minimal to no injuries or loss. My Gamma is the man to help us to see that goal realized. I say curtly, not liking how he was subtly putting down Cam. Cam gives me a quick smile before getting back to business. After a few hours, I felt like we were getting nowhere. I wanted to come out with a clear plan of action, but Alpha Benjamin didn't seem to want to commit to anything, let alone send his warriors further than his pack lands. This is definitely interesting, my father links me. I don't understand. This shouldn't be a hard job if we work together. Maybe he actually is worried about his pack. That doesn't seem to be it. He seems indifferent, like he hopes we would do all the work. It's getting late, I finally say. Now that you know all the facts and the courses of action we can take, how about you talk to your beta about it? I honestly didn't catch his beta's name, and he just sat there looking bored, not once contributing. If you can commit to at least increasing patrol around your borders and alerting us of any rogue sightings, we can contact the other nearby packs and see if they would join us in this pursuit to protect all of our packs. Alpha Benjamin gives a short nod and stands up, signaling this pointless meeting was over. You're staying for dinner? He asks us, quickly changing the subject. If that is still okay with you, we were planning on it. He nods. Cocktails will be served out back in half an hour. I trust you can find something to occupy your time until then. He brushes past us and leaves the room with his beta following. Lucas, Cam, and my father all look at me confused. Sit back down. We aren't done here. What the fuck was that? Cam says, falling back into his chair. This really isn't that complicated. We can do it easily if we comb through the woods from all sides. He seemed mad, and they both seemed bored. I don't know. This is serious, something that can affect his pack if we don't stop it now. Lucas chimes in. And his beta? That dude didn't say one word. He might have his own motives behind his actions, maybe to protect his pack, or maybe his warriors aren't as well trained as ours. My dad adds, always trying to be the peacemaking alpha. I sigh and put my head in my hands. This was honestly pointless. They aren't going to help, and it seems that the rogues are getting closer to our borders than theirs, so I don't think they are taking this threat seriously. I say we go to the other packs, set up a video conference first to make sure we aren't wasting our time, Cam says. I agree that makes the most sense. All right then, I could use a drink after that bullshit. Let's go find those cocktails and my mate. I hope she's doing all right. I couldn't help getting distracted thinking about her, but I knew my mom would take care of her. I wanted to steal her for a moment to check in before the next event. Isla. Hearing that a lunch was scheduled for just Gianna, me, Juliana, and Haley sent my stomach into a tight knot that won't come undone. This was definitely not what I was expecting. I thought I could have just hung back in a crowd without such an intimate gathering. Adrastiel was on edge since we arrived. I could feel the hair on the back of her neck standing up, and it didn't help my anxiety or the knot in my stomach. I would be happy when this day was over and we were heading back with Abigail after dinner. That thought was the only thing keeping me going. We sit down at the large dining table, Juliana and Haley across from Gianna and I. Gianna takes my hand under the table and gives it a squeeze. This is such a lovely pack house. I haven't been here in ages. You had some work done here yourself, haven't you? Gianna starts an effortless conversation with Juliana. Sorry, yes, not much, but a few bits recently. I see that Juliana was probably mind-linking with Haley, no doubt talking about me if they recognized me at all. Some Omegas started bringing us the luncheon, starting with a light salad. I saw a few that I recognized. One stopped in their tracks, almost dropping the tray she was holding. The other let out a visible gasp that Juliana noticed, no doubt confirming her suspicions. We don't have all day. Is there a reason for the delay? Nothing to look at here, Juliana snaps. Impossible to get them to do anything. You know how it is. She directs that comment to Gianna, who laughs nervously. I eat the salad in mostly silence. Gianna trying to make pleasant conversation that Juliana doesn't take her up on. The main course comes. Some kind of fish, I didn't even notice what. I was focusing so much on trying to take small bites, even though my stomach was rejecting them. I knew that everyone in the kitchen must be talking about me. This was a mistake coming here. How is it being Luna? It takes me a second to realize that Haley is directing her question at me. Weren't you an Omega here? I'm sure that is a huge adjustment. Gianna squeezes my hand again, and I set down my fork and give Haley a smile. Yes, I will admit it is a bit of an adjustment. A big adjustment, I won't lie. I'm lucky to have Gianna here to help me navigate through everything. Gianna gives me a wide smile. There will be a lot to learn, but I'm confident that I can do it with her help. I realized that I was telling the truth. I was confident that I could be a good Luna, with her guidance and Jackson by my side. I could do this. I can do this. Hell yeah, baby girl. How was your ball? I ask her with more confidence. I'm sorry to have missed the ending of it. Juliana looks shocked that I directed a question at her daughter. Haley takes a minute to respond. It was amazing. Everything was to be expected. All the visiting alphas were all over me. I suppress a growl. I couldn't decide which one to go for. Obviously, I'll be a Luna of a pack. It's up to me to choose which one now. Yes, my dear. Juliana pats her arm. Lots of decisions to be made. The daughter of an alpha from such a strong bloodline isn't to be ignored. She raises an eyebrow, not really sure what she meant by that. Yes, of course. I heard amazing things about your ball, darling, Gianna says. I wish I had a daughter myself, but as fate would have it, I have Isla now to fill that role, and I couldn't be happier. She gives me a warm smile that I return. Juliana huffs, and Haley rolls her eyes going back to her lunch. Now that we're done here, there's a cocktail hour out back soon. We will meet you there. Juliana drags Haley up and out of the dining room. Well, that was awkward, Gianna states, and we both giggle. You did very well. I am so proud of you, and I know how much it must be taxing you for you to be here. She pats my arm. Do you mind if I excuse myself for a few minutes? I ask. I want to go say goodbye to everyone before I leave, and I'm not sure I'll get a chance after dinner. I knew how busy dinner could be, and I didn't want to interrupt anything for the other Omegas. Of course, love. I'll stay here so you know where to find me, and we can go to cocktail hour together. Hopefully a drink, or 5, will make this night go faster, she adds under her breath, and I can't help but feel relieved that she's not enjoying this either. I head out of the dining room, not sure if I was allowed to take the Omega stairs anymore. I hesitate outside the door from the main entrance when it bursts open. Great, just the person I wanted to see, Megan. She reels back looking surprised. I guess she must have missed the chatter in the kitchen. It wouldn't surprise me as she is rarely down there working anyways. She looks me up and down and sneers, a look of pure hatred crossing her face.
Glad to see you made it back, you fucking filthy mutt.
She spits, grabbing my arm and yanking me.
You think just because you were found by some other pack and you have new clothes that you are somebody?
She laughs a hysterical laugh. Okay, she's losing it.
Get back in the fucking kitchen. Get out of these clothes that you have not for 1 second deserved. I'm not sure what you told them to let you borrow these things, but that is insubordination and I will not stand for it. Rest assured, you will be punished thoroughly, you fucking piece of shit.
I'm frozen in fear. Flashbacks of her mistreating me and having absolute power over me overcome me for a second. I take a deep breath, remembering who I am now. I yank my arm from her hand. Megan, I state calmly. She doesn't stop glaring. As much as I respect your authority over the Omegas at this pack, I am no longer part of this pack.
You can't just leave because someone else fucking finds your filthy ass in the woods. You don't just promise them loyalty for your pointless life.
She's not listening, and I'm getting upset now. Let me finish, I state, maybe a bit too harshly. Megan looks taken aback. I have found my mate at Moonstone, and we have accepted each other. I will officially join Moonstone and am no longer under your care or authority.
I am above you. You will always be under my authority, you rogue mutt.
She's shouting now. How dare you? I hear a voice reverberating the entire room. Suddenly, Jackson is by my side, angrier than I've ever seen him, his veins popping out the side of his neck. You will never talk to my Luna like that again. Megan's eyes bulge out. It's fine, Jackson. I can handle this. I put my hand on his chest, and he looks at me, starting to relax a bit, but still looks pissed. I'm sorry, my mate can get a little possessive over me. I smile at Megan innocently. Normally, I wouldn't be one for rubbing this in, but it was too perfect a moment. She is speechless. As I was saying, I am no longer under your authority. I am the future Luna of Moonstone. I say confidently, taking Jackson's hand in mine. Chapter 40A. Luna of the Kitchen. Isla. I breathe shakily, but stand my ground with Jackson beside me. Now, I am going to say my goodbyes and collect the rest of my belongings. I won't interrupt their work, I say to her and brush past her. She doesn't say anything, just stands in silence. Do you want me to come with you, baby? Jackson asks. I'm okay. I'll join you for cocktail hour. Your mom is waiting for me in the dining room. Thanks, though. I smile at him and continue down to the kitchen, taking a breath before opening the double doors, not knowing what to expect. Silence falls over everyone as I walk in. No one says anything for a minute straight. Hi, everyone. I just wanted to say goodbye. My friends come rushing towards me, pulling me into a tight hug. We thought you were gone forever, Kara says. You're really going to be a Luna? What is your mate like? Tressa bounces up and down. Who is your mate? I laugh and hug them back. It's a really, really long story. I summed it up as fast as I could in 5 minutes. Everyone circled around me and hung on my every word. I left out the part of why I left, but no one questioned it. I just told them I wanted to join another pack and that I had a slight run-in with rogues, and when I was running away from them, I fell and was found by one of his pack members. Wow, so you're really going to be a Luna? That's a fairy tale. I nod. It really was my own fairy tale. I'm so sorry I don't have more time now. I want to come back to see you all again. Do you mind showing me where Abigail is? I haven't seen her all day. I think she's in her room, someone says. It was great seeing you all. Really, I have missed you guys. I smile at them and head towards the stairs. Hushed whispers follow me, and as soon as I close the door behind me, I hear them erupt into loud conversation. I knew this would be a topic of speculation and gossip for the near future. As much as I didn't want to be the center of attention, I wanted them to know the truth, no matter what Megan would have no doubt said. I knock on our door, my old door, and open the door. Abigail is sitting on her bed, going over her few belongings. She looks up at me and her eyes are shining. Oh my gosh, Isla. She pulls me into a tight hug and I wrap my arms around her, feeling like I was home. I missed you so much, I cried into her chest. Oh, my sweet girl. I was so worried, so worried. She pulls back and looks me over. You are glowing. She smiles widely. You look fantastic. Being mated suits you. I giggle. I really like him, I say. She laughs and pulls me into another hug. What did Megan say about you leaving? Oh, well, you know. You haven't told her, have you? I raise an eyebrow. I haven't told her. She smiles sheepishly. I didn't think she would react well, and I thought it would be better to spring it on her. I nod. I knew she was right. Okay, well, pack whatever you want. I want to bring the rest of my things too. I didn't leave much, but I had my books. Already packed. Abigail pats the bag next to her. She is the best. I have so much I want to tell you. I can't wait. You're going to love it, and Jackson has a room set up for you on the second floor where all the ranked members' families live. Abigail studied my face, tears welling in her eyes. He said he would give you a cottage, or even an entire townhouse, but while you made your mind up, you can stay there. Or you can stay in the pack house forever. It's up to you. I keep talking, hoping it's okay with her. Tears spill out now. Is everything okay? The ranked families floor? You're my family, I whisper. She pulls me into a hug again, and a wave of emotion washes over me. Gratitude, relief, and love. I can't help but start crying myself. Abigail pulls away after a minute and rubs the tears from my cheeks. You better get back to your fancy ranked parties. I laugh through the last of the tears. I don't want Megan getting suspicious. Good luck telling her. Mind link me if you need anything. I can't wait to hear all about her reaction when we're leaving this place behind. A few hours, I agree. I head back to the dining room, not wanting to keep Gianna waiting too long. She looks comfortable enough, finishing up a cup of tea. How do you feel, dear? She studies my face that is probably still a bit red from crying. I'm feeling a lot, honestly. It's a lot of emotions to sort through, but I think I'm starting to feel relieved. She smiles at me and stands up to take my arm. Good, darling. That's a good start then. Let's go find our mates. Isla. As much as I hated to admit it, the backyard looked really nice. There were string lights in a circle and jazz music playing from a hidden stereo. There was a large bar cart with sparkling colored bottles, and an Omega from my room, Anna, was standing behind the cart making cocktails. She gave me a wink and a smile that I returned before she got back to work. An Omega I didn't recognize walked around with glasses of champagne on a silver tray. Gianna grabbed us both a glass. This honestly didn't look like the few parties they threw before. This seemed classier. And I never saw them host anything like this for people that were just visiting for pack business. I'm assuming you haven't really drank before. Gianna looks at me as I study the long flute in my hand. Never. Well, just take it slow. A few sips here and there. It gives you something to do if you're in an uncomfortable situation. She gives me a knowing look, and I nod and take my first sip of champagne. It was cold and sweeter than I thought it would be, and the bubbles almost hurt my nose. I didn't hate it, though. Gianna smiles at me and clinks her glass to mine. I see Jackson ahead of us, beaming at us, and next to him, Haley glaring. What is her problem? Gianna whispers to me. I shrug as we walk towards them. Jackson takes a step towards me and gives me a quick kiss. I missed you, he whispers in my ear. Me too. I take his hand in mine. I see William come up to Gianna and do the same. Proof that the mate bond never went away. I couldn't wait to spend my life with him, especially knowing that this feeling wouldn't fade. If you'll excuse me for a minute, I say to them, I see an old friend I want to talk to. Hurry back, Jackson says, releasing my hand. I walk up to the bar cart as soon as I see no one else was around. Anna beams at me, I missed her. Even though we weren't as close as Abigail and I were, I got used to her being around every day. You look happy, Anna says. I am. Then I'm happy for you. I'm glad you came back. We were all so worried. I wanted to say goodbye. I felt bad leaving so suddenly. I just knew that I had to get out of there. She nods knowingly. I wish I could get out of here too. She sighs. I've been thinking about it for a while, but I don't know how. I wonder if it would be okay with Jackson if some of the Omegas came with us later. I wasn't sure how pack politics worked, but I was sure it would be fine if a few moved to Moonstone. I would have to ask him tonight. I see Juliana start walking up to me, swaying a little, and Anna gives me a look. She's drunk, she says under her breath, and quickly finds something to do. Juliana stops in front of me, her eyes glazed over, but she doesn't say anything. Hello, Luna, I say. This is a lovely cocktail party. Thank you for hosting us, I say, trying to remember some of the things Gianna had said over lunch. Well, we didn't invite you. You weren't supposed to be here. I sigh. I guess she wasn't going to be civil after all. So, I bet there's a story behind you ending up with an alpha, Juliana says, motioning to Anna to refill her glass. Do tell, sweets. She glares at me and hiccups. How did you pull that off? She starts slurring her words. Well, I found my mate. There isn't much else to say about it. Or should I say he found me? I nervously take a sip of my champagne to find something to do like Gianna suggested. Should we join the others? I offer, looking around for someone to save me from this conversation. Everyone else is deep in their own conversations. Great. How dare you think you can take an alpha from my daughter? She poked my chest. What is she talking about? Luna, I don't understand. I didn't take Jackson from anyone. He is fated to me by the moon goddess herself. That is a load of bullshit, and you know it. You did something. He was going to take Haley. What did you do to him, you little bitch? She starts to raise her voice, and I look behind her and see that people have started to notice. Jackson is my mate. I will not defend the mate bond. I'm sick of these people thinking that they knew more than the moon goddess. Why you think Haley had any claim over him is beyond me. He told me that she thought they were mates, but he explained the situation to her. You are just holding on to delusion at this point. Jackson is by my side. Juliana scoffs. And you guys said yourself at lunch, she has her pick of alphas to choose from. I smile sweetly, knowing that can't be true. So, she can choose one of her other many suitors, but this alpha is off the market. I grab Jackson's arm and walk him away from her towards Gianna and William. What was that all about? William asks. I'm not sure, but I think Haley still wants Jackson as her mate. They roll their eyes. You made it perfectly clear to her that wasn't the case, right, dear? Gianna looks at her son with worry across her face. I really hope you didn't lead her on. Lucas and Cameron come up and enter our circle. With all due respect, and I don't want to cut in, but both Cam and I were there. Lucas cuts in. He made it very clear that she wasn't his mate and he was mated to someone else. Cam nods. I don't understand, Gianna continues. Absolutely delusional. This whole family is, Lucas says, and Jackson sighs. I wouldn't have agreed to bring everyone if I knew it would be like this. I honestly thought it would be a productive meeting and then dinner. But of course, it can't be that simple, Jackson says. Do you want to leave? He turns to me. I'm honestly okay if you guys are. I think that you need to clear the air with all of them before we leave. I don't want to leave on a sour note, as they are the closest pack and we need their support for dealing with the rogues. I think it's important that we work through this before leaving, I state. They all look at me. Unless you want to leave. Jackson pulls me into a huge hug. Spoken like a true Luna, Gianna says, beaming. You are absolutely right, baby. Thanks for putting it into perspective and not having me do something rash that could affect us down the line. Jackson says, I'm glad you're here to help balance my son out. William says. Hell, I'm glad you're around in general. I bet we're going to see a different side of Jackson. A better side, Jackson says. Lucas and Cameron fake gag behind them, earning a smack on the back of their heads from Gianna. We all started laughing, and I could see Haley, Juliana, and Alpha Benjamin glaring at us. Mainly me. I wondered where Seth was, actually, but I was glad he wasn't here. I guess it's time to clear the air. Jackson downs his drink and walks over to them. Benjamin. Juliana was making a fucking scene with Isla. At least she made it through lunch before she started. I went up and grabbed her arm, pulling her towards Haley. What the fuck is your problem? I spit at her. This is the exact opposite of helping. You are making a damn fool out of yourself and making us look stupid. Haley rolls her eyes at Juliana.
Daddy, this is stupid. Why are we letting an Omega hang out with us? She sneers. Can we just kick them out?
Unfortunately, no. She seems to be under their protection for whatever reason. But there is something that might change his mind. I smile at them. One last hope for civility until things have to get messy. They all start laughing together. I can't help but glare at them. The perfect family had to all be an act. Thankfully, I see Alpha Jackson walking up to us by himself. This will be a good moment to let him know. Alpha Benjamin, Luna Juliana, Haley, he states coolly. It's come to my attention that there have been a few people in this pack that doesn't respect my mate or her future position at Moonstone. The only reason we are staying here after that display, he looks at Juliana, but she doesn't meet his eyes, is because my Luna thinks it's best to talk this over and not leave on bad terms. I must agree with her advice. I nod, taking advice from a fucking Omega. Let's discuss this as gentlemen. There must have been some miscommunication, I say. Can I pull you aside for a moment? Alpha Jackson nods, and I lead him back to the bar and motion to the Omega to make us another round. When we're sipping on our drinks, I walk towards the edge of the lights and he follows. So, you must already know that your mate is an Omega, right? Jackson nods. Damn, I was hoping she lied to him. Her rank is of no importance to me, he says. He's an idiot. No one is going to respect his Luna when they find out she's an Omega. How will your pack feel about that? I say nonchalantly, taking a sip of my drink. The pack members that know I found my mate also know a bit of her story. In the end, it is her story to tell, though. Everyone that she has met has accepted her wholeheartedly. I hope no one in my pack would have a problem with my mate based on something as trivial as rank. I couldn't speak for a minute. Rank is everything. It's what keeps packs together. A powerful alpha with an Omega mate that wasn't heard of. Of course, but some of our pack members have a problem with her because she is a rogue, not because she's an Omega. I study his face, but whatever he is thinking, I can't read it. A rogue, he repeats. Finally, he gets it. Yes, it seems your mate is not just an Omega, but a rogue. She was found after her rogue parents attacked my pack and unfortunately lost their lives. It wasn't her fault, so I gave her refuge, but she is still a rogue and not even part of this pack. No, she is not part of this pack. She is part of Moonstone, he states. I wonder if this was just a front so he wasn't completely embarrassed by his rogue mate. I need to understand where this hostility comes from. Apart from her being an Omega, I don't understand the anger with her being mated to me. I know Haley thought I was her mate, but I assure you, I told her that I was mated to someone else. I knew it the first night I was here and explained it to her. Yes, but when we found out your mate was an Omega, I don't think anyone expected you to accept her. I scoffed. Anger flashes across his face. I have accepted her. She is my Luna. His eyes darkened. I'm sorry if Haley still thinks there is a chance because of some backward idea of me rejecting my mate over her rank. Whoever placed that idea in her head is to be blamed. He's glaring at me now. This matter is settled. You will accept Isla as my Luna, or I'm afraid we can't accept your alliance anymore. Well, fuck. We needed this alliance more than anything. This alliance has been going on for hundreds of years, and it would not end with me. There is no need for that, Alpha Jackson. I will set everything straight. Please, join us for dinner and accept my apologies on behalf of my family. Even if Haley would never be Luna of Moonstone, I would have to get rid of Isla, an Omega from my pack, rising to Luna over my own daughter. I would not be embarrassed like that. That's how talk starts. Talk is the beginning of people questioning their leaders. I know better than anyone that we couldn't have a seed of doubt about how powerful we were as the highest ranked family. Sooner the better before word got out and more packs knew of this embarrassment. So it would have to happen before her Luna ceremony. Neither of them was marked, so there was still time. I wonder if I could maybe have some fun with her before I killed her. I had to admit that she did look ravishing tonight.
Chapter 40b, Luna of the Kitchen. Isla. Dinner went by in a blur. I mostly talked to Lucas and Gianna, who were seated next to me. Conveniently, Jackson was placed next to Haley and Seth, who finally made his appearance and wouldn't stop staring at me. As uncomfortable as it made me, I tried to ignore it, but Adrastea was pissed at him and wouldn't stop making rude remarks in my head. I tried to join in polite conversation with Alpha Benjamin and Juliana. They barely acknowledged me, but at least they weren't being outwardly mean anymore. At least I couldn't say that I didn't try with them. When the Omegas were clearing our plates, I decided to mind link Abigail to see if she was ready. I concentrated for a while until I could feel it go through. Abigail? Isla, I just told Megan. She is freaking out. On cue, the kitchen door swung open, and I heard muffled shouting down in the kitchen. I sighed. I'll be right there. Were you mind-linking someone? Jackson mouths across the table, looking confused. I nod. I turn to Lucas. I'm going to get Abigail. I think she needs help. Megan is throwing a fit. I'm coming with you then. No one yells at my Abigail. He helps me up, and we head down the Omega steps without a word. I feel confused stares following our movement. You are not leaving this pack. I forbid it. You think after everything that we've done for you here that you can just get up and leave because you feel like it? Megan is standing over Abigail yelling. She doesn't notice either of us walk in as her back is turned towards the door. There is nothing keeping me here, Megan. I was born here. Yes, but I have no loyalty to that pathetic excuse for an alpha. I smile. I like this side of Abigail. Usually she was so bent on protecting me and keeping me out of trouble, she rarely stood up for herself. Some of the Omegas in the kitchen laugh a bit, unable to contain themselves. There was a loud smack that echoed through the room, pulling me out of my thoughts. Abigail's hand went to her cheek. Don't you dare talk about your alpha like that again. Megan's hand pulls back again, and I run to grab it. She wheels around facing me. When she recognizes me, she pulls her hand away. You little filthy bitch. I'm going to have to stop you right there, Megs. Her alpha is now Alpha Jackson, someone with integrity that is respected by his pack members. Something that this, how did you say it, Abigail? Pathetic excuse for an alpha? Abigail nods and fights back a laugh. The Omegas are silent at my sudden appearance. That this pathetic excuse for an alpha will never understand. She is coming to live with me at my pack. Loud cheers fill the room. There is a sense of energy down here that I haven't felt before. Usually, the air feels fearful. Is this what a rebellion feels like? I liked it. Waves of anger roll off of Megan. She has never lost control of a room like this before. Your pack? You really think that a little rogue bitch like you could You will never speak to my Luna like that again, Lucas commands as he cuts in to stand in front of me, anger flashing in his eyes.
Megan can't help but submit to his authority. Who are you to speak to anyone, let alone the Luna of your neighboring pack, with such insubordination? Megan is shocked into silence. I asked you a question. He pauses. Who are you to speak to the Luna of Moonstone Pack like that? That's what I thought. Now, Miss Abigail, would you do me the great honor of accompanying you to your new pack? He extends his arm and she takes it, and they head towards the stairs. We made sure that you had the best room on the ranked family's floor. You should see the walk-in closet and the bathtub. I think you'll love it, he says loudly. I know for Megan's benefit. She is fuming as I turn around to address her, hopefully for the last time. I hope you will learn something about treating those you believe are beneath you. You will get much further with compassion than you ever will trying to gain power through fear. She scoffs. Now, I really must be going. Being Luna is such a responsibility, and my alpha is waiting for me. You understand, don't you? I give her a wide smile, which she obviously doesn't return. Oh well, I guess you don't, but look at it like this. You can pretend you're Luna of the kitchen. That might be nice. I turn on my heel and follow Lucas out the door without a backward glance. Cheers erupt behind me. I did the right thing, mostly, for 18 years. But boy, did that feel good. Fucking bitch. Chapter 41. Surprise Guest. Isla. Alpha Benjamin, I strongly suggest that you get your lead Omega in order. She has crossed the line one too many times. Lucas blurts out when we make it back to the dining room. Everyone is standing up now, looking ready to leave. Juliana looks smug and Alpha Benjamin looks annoyed. I really don't think it's up to a beta to tell me what to do, he says indifferently, shrugging him off. I really don't think that it's up to an Omega to be talking back to a visiting Luna, Lucas retorts. If we're pulling rank here. Alpha Benjamin looks angry now, but he doesn't have anything to say. Jackson cuts in. Thank you for having us. We will be in touch once we speak to the other neighboring packs. He signals the end of the night. Yes, it's always a pleasure. Let us know if anything changes. Those last words seem to have a double meaning. Jackson nods and Alpha Benjamin shows us to the front door, and we politely say our goodbyes. Abigail followed us, not making eye contact with anyone. When we step outside, I take a deep breath of cool, crisp air, feeling like I can breathe for the first time all day. We will have to have dinner together soon. This weekend, perhaps? I overhear Gianna talking to Abigail. You're kind of her mother figure, aren't you? I think it's time that we join our families. I smile. I'm happy that Gianna was already welcoming her into the group, despite Gianna being a Luna and probably from a long line of rank. I sit in between Jackson and Abigail as we head out. The Elders man, or fake Omega, I wasn't really sure, came back just in time from the back of the pack house as we were leaving. Jackson told me he would fill me in later, and I was too busy catching up with Abigail to pay much attention to the other man anyway. The look on Megan's face, I can't believe you said that to her. Abigail is beside herself laughing. She has deserved that for months. Did you hear everyone? The cheering, it was something else. I smile. It's definitely something that I won't forget. When we arrived back at the pack house, it was late, but everyone was buzzing with energy. Baby, I have some things that I need to attend to in my office. I would like you to join in if you're up for it, as it pertains to you too. Yeah, of course. I'm confused, but I know I would figure out soon enough. How about everyone takes 30 and meets me in my office? He addresses the group. Lucas, do you mind showing Abigail to her room? It would be my pleasure, Alpha, Lucas says. Can I come too? I ask to no one in particular. Of course, Luna. Survey more of your kingdom, Lucas says. I roll my eyes but follow them up to the second floor. He opens one of the first doors off the staircase. Now, we didn't have time to redecorate, but anything can be changed tomorrow. Just say the word and it's done. Lucas opens the door. Abigail steps in behind him and gasps. This can't all be for me. There's no way that this is for me. She doesn't take a step in. I come in behind her and take her hand. This room was large. A canopy king-size bed stood in the middle of the room with trailing white curtains. The familiar stone covered the back wall and the floor. A cream rug that matched the bedding covered most of the floor. 2 massive windows framed the canopy bed, and I saw an entrance to a private balcony. There was a sitting area with the sofa and 2 chairs around a table to one side, and I saw 2 sets of double doors to the other. I guess Lucas wasn't lying about the walk-in closet or massive bathtub either. This can't be for me, Abigail repeated. If you don't like it, we can get you a 2-story townhouse, Lucas jokes. I don't even know how to thank you. I don't know what to say. Abigail turns to him. Welcome to the family. Lucas gives her a huge kiss on the cheek. I'll leave you guys alone for a few minutes. Meet us in Jackson's office when you're done helping her settle in, he says to me. Thanks so much, I say, truly meaning it. Once the door closes behind him, Abigail looks at me, her eyes wide. I have to be dreaming. Is this a dream? She starts walking around the room, running her hand along the back of the cream sofa. Megan killed me with that slap. I'm dead. I must be. I laugh. This is everything you deserve and more, I tell her. Yes, it is real. This is your new home. All of this is just for you. Abigail starts crying, but turns from me and keeps walking around. Her eyes bulge when she opens the doors to the bathroom and sees its size. There's apparently a walk-in closet too, I say, walking in behind her. I have to go meet with Jackson for a minute. I can come back after, I ask. Don't worry about me, honey. I'm just shocked, that's all. I never imagined I would have a room to myself, especially something as grand as this. She motions to the room behind her. You go spend time with your mate. I'll get settled here. I'll see you first thing in the morning then, okay? She nods. Sounds great. I think I might take a bath. Have you eaten yet? No, but don't worry. I'll have something sent up. I turn back. I love you. Love you too, darling. Thank you so much. I wave her off and shut the door behind her. Having her here felt complete. I had my mate, my new friends and family, my old family in one place. The anxiety I have felt recently feels like it has dissipated around me, and I head to the elevator to our floor. Oh, there you are, my Luna, Jackson growls seductively, coming out of his office. I haven't had much alone time with you today. He pulls me into our room and into his lap on our couch and captures my mouth in a deep, passionate kiss. I pull him closer, wanting more, needing to be closer to him than anything in the world. Jackson, I say, finally pulling away. Yes, my love. I think I'm ready, I whisper, not looking into his eyes. He tilts my chin up to look at him, studying my face. Are you absolutely sure? Yes. Well then, he gulps. I like that this makes him nervous, as butterflies were already starting to settle into my stomach. Let's get this meeting over with then. He stands up and places me on my feet. Would you like to get changed before we go to my office? I shake my head. This dress is actually more comfortable than I originally thought. He mind-links the guys and takes my hand in his. We get to his office, and I'm surprised to find that Lucas, Cameron, his parents, and the other guy, Cassius, I think, are already waiting outside in the hallway. He squeezes my hand. Let's do this. He opens the door, and we all spill into his office. He finds the light switch and turns on the light. Someone is behind his desk, sitting there confidently twirling something in her hands, long black boots on Jackson's desk, the skin of her thigh in full display. A short skirt and shirt that is a bit too tight push her already perky boobs up. Golden, perfectly curled hair falls around her face. I sigh. Jennifer, Jackson's ex. Jackson. As soon as I turn on the light, I see a stranger in my seat, and Flint is on full alert, until I realize it was Jennifer. I let out an exasperated sigh. Could we catch a break?
I wasn't expecting a full welcome party, but I can't say I don't love the attention.
She flashes a smile at all of us, taking her hooker boots off my desk and sits up in my chair. My mother and father look at each other, and Cam and Lucas are both staring at me, not sure what to do. Isla drops my hand. That is not a good sign. If Jennifer's reappearance ruined the night for Isla and I, there would be hell to pay. Jennifer.
I told you don't need to be so formal, not with me at least.
She looks up and bats her eyes at me. What are you doing here?
I'm part of this pack.
I sigh. No, what are you doing in here, in my office? I really didn't have time for this.
I had something that I wanted to discuss with you. Well, only you, but I guess this is fine too. Your parents are going to find out sooner or later, and I would love to see the looks on their faces when they do.
They look at me confused. I shake my head at them. I have no idea what's going on either. I really don't have time for this. We're in the middle of something. Can we discuss this tomorrow? Isla stiffens beside me, and I put my arm on her shoulder.
Oh, your parents should be here for this, though. They really should.
She gives me a fake pout. Spit it out, Jennifer. My dad finally says, we have business to attend to. We don't have time for your little games. She fake pouts.
I'm sorry, William. I just wanted to see the look on your faces when you're getting something you've been waiting for.
Neither of them responds.
Fine. If you guys are going to be all boring about this, let's get down to the formalities.
She pauses, loving the undivided attention everyone in the room is giving her.
Should they call you Grandma and Grandpa, or do you prefer something less traditional?
She cocks her head and looks at them. No one says anything. What the fuck are you talking about, Jennifer? The anger in my voice is not hidden at all.
Oh, baby, isn't it obvious?
She stands up and throws me something. I instinctively catch it. A white, thick stick with 2 lines on it. I look back at her confused.
You're going to be a daddy.
The fuck?
I'm pregnant.